So I was up the other night thinking, woke up about 12:30, engines were going, all of a sudden it's 2 a.m. and I find myself thinking how there's really no more movies about baseball anymore, you know? It used to be that when I was growing up, there was a ton of movies about baseball, which is a good thing for people of all ages to watch, really. Little kids, now I have three little boys myself. And I'm thinking about that. The great American pastime. No more movies about it. Growing up, you had a ton. You had Major League. Watching the Charlie Sheen documentary is actually what spawned this thought. And thinking about movies that he was in that were good. And yeah, you got Major League, Major League Two. You had Rookie of the Year. You had Little Big League. You had A League of Their Own. Not bad. You had The Sandlot, come on, all-time classic. I mean, not to mention Field of Dreams, Mr. Baseball. There's a ton of them that were always out there. And they were like constantly coming up. And they're good movies. And, you see a cool baseball team on TV. The stories are motivating, good for little kids, entertaining for adults. It's a healthy activity to do, right? It's a realistic activity to do, something that anyone can do. Father and son, doesn't take much to go out there and play a game of catch. Low cost of entry, really. All you really need is a ball and a mitt. You can get out there and do something. And it got me thinking, what are the movies that are for kids today? They're movies that are very consumer driven, I would say. You have Minecraft, you have all sorts of Marvel and DC movies, superhero stuff that is completely unrealistic. And even the stuff that is realistic, you wouldn't want your kids doing. You wouldn't want to be reenacting that kind of thing. I don't really care about PG 13 violence so much, but it's just the disparity between the two, between the more wholesome good stuff and the more, honestly, not really that good stuff anymore. Even the superhero movies now, they're borderline unwatchable, I would say, if you are above the age of 7, which my kids are not. So they do tend to like them right now. And also those movies, the superhero movies, the Minecrafts of the world, all this kind of K-pop demon hunters and everything like that. What I mean by consumer driven is that it tends to feel like they're selling merchandise out of it, right? You're buying accessories, helmets, weapons, toys, tools, all this kind of stuff. Whereas with baseball, there's really not much to buy, right? So I think there's an economic factor in there for sure. And that goes with all sports movies too, if you think about it. There's really, you used to have Little Giants. You had, I'm not even into sports. I'm not a sports guy. So don't think like, oh, he's a sports nut, wants to see more sports stuff. I'm not. I can watch a game, be entertained by it, but I couldn't talk intelligently about any professional sports team. Really couldn't. Don't really care to. But the movies were good. They could be inspiring at the end when they win the big game. There's a struggle going on the whole time. And then I got to talking with a buddy of mine about it, and he brought up the fact that, well, also too, the licensing could be an issue because to use these major league teams, what did Major League use? The Cleveland Indians, the New York Yankees were in there. Um, Field of Dreams mentioned like the White Sox or whatever the heck it was. And Little Big League, I think it was, I don't remember which one that was. Angels in the Outfield, another one that just came to me. That was another baseball movie, Christopher Lloyd. I mean, these weren't necessarily monster hits, but they were cool movies to watch as a kid with your parents and everything like that. It made you want to go out there and throw a ball. Made you want to be like these big, strong men that are out there, unlike these superheroes who are out wielding hammers and long blonde hair and stupid capes and tight uniforms. Completely unrealistic. So that concerns me a little bit, especially, baseball is a sport I did play when I was little because I was maybe inspired by that. And it did seem cool. And it is the great American pastime for a reason. And we look at the decline of that, the increase of the other stuff, what's going on in the country as a whole. We see overall, I think entertainment has been really kind of going downhill, over the last couple of decades, little by little. And now it's more noticeable than ever in overall happiness of people. Maybe these are linked, maybe they're not. I understand correlation is not causation, but I think it's worth noting that we had an abundance of sports movies when I was growing up, particularly baseball. And now we don't. And we have an abundance of other stuff that really isn't that good. And the children of today, I don't know, do they seem as well adjusted as the children of old? Personally, I don't think so. Looking at a lot of classmates that are around and my kids and whatnot, not pointing out anybody in particular, but just looking around at neighborhoods where kids congregate, if you can even find them outside anymore, which is harder to do. So that's a thought that kept me up until, probably for a good hour, I would say. And I thought it might be worth sharing. See if you agree. Let me know what you think. And it's been nice chatting.